Today we're going to dive into real world assets on XRP and really kind of get some insights from somebody who's actually doing it. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back into Tech Path. I do want to thank our sponsor today, and that is Uphold. If you guys are interested in getting started in your crypto journey, well, Uphold is the place to check out. Go over to uphold.com. You, of course, along with institutional or enterprise, can all participate. Very easy to take part in getting your crypto journey started. So check it out. All right, one of the things that you have probably seen over on the channel from time to time is we cover the real world assets quite a bit. Tokenized real world assets have become something that I think are starting to really take hold in 2025. And today we're going to dive in a little deeper. We talked a little bit about this not too long ago, about 3 weeks ago. We really started diving into gold and diamonds. And one of the projects out there is a company called Tiamonds. And today we've got Monty Metzger joining us, who is the founder over there at Tiamonds. Let's welcome in Monty Metzger. How are you?
Hi, Paul. I'm fine, and I'm excited to dive into tokenization and real-world assets with you today.
Let's do it. I was looking at your website, and if you look at your roadmap, one of the things that you guys have there, of course, in May of 24, was that it was the first real-world asset project on XRP Ledger. When you think about XRP Ledger as a whole, what was one of the key reasons why you guys were going this direction?
Well, XRP is a pioneer, right? And so that's why we also wanted to use the XRP Ledger with that project. But I think for your audience, it's important to understand why I have the LCX on this side behind me, and what is LCX and what is Tiamonds and what does tokenization. So first of all, my name is Monty Metzger. I'm CEO and founder of Tiamonds and LCX. LCX stands for the Liechtenstein Crypto Assets Exchange. It's a so-called crypto asset service provider. We are now known to be the fastest growing regulated crypto exchange in Europe. Mm-hmm. We've just filed for the pre-application for the MiCA licenses, and we're holding a registration called the Physical Validator. And with that, LCX has positioned itself as a centerpiece of tokenization. And during the licensing process and the regulatory supervision process, we have started to create our own little pilot project. And this emerged into a whole separate company called Tiamonds, where we are tokenizing diamonds and now a wide variety of different assets: gold, silver, platinum, and so on.
Whether it's jewelry, I know you guys are getting into collectibles, but watches as well. This is, I think, one of the biggest luxury market goods that we'll probably see in real world assets is the watch market going forward. Maybe even wine. Wine will be another big category. But within all of that, how long before we start to see much of this start to show up in some of the RWA traceability?
So when we speak about tokenization itself, it is the creation of a digital representative of a physical object. And when we talk about tokenization, we really mean real world assets, meaning physical things which you can touch.
Right.
And then there's a second category, which is tokenization of financial assets, where we could talk about, I think, on another show with a deep dive, tokenization of money, tokenization of financial assets. We focus on real things, right? So we started out with looking for something which an industry can be disrupted, where there's a need of creating a liquid market. And the diamond market is perfect for it. It's roughly 100 billion market size globally at the moment, and it's highly illiquid. There's no price transparency. If you buy diamonds, you need to ship them over, so there's transportation costs, there's tax, import tax, and then obviously you need to safeguard it. So safekeeping, put it in a vault, and everything like that. And at Tiamonds, we solved all of these problems. So the diamonds itself are stored in Liechtenstein in a vault, high security vault. You get a digital representative, a digital ownership deed as an NFT, which is 101 backed and legally enforceable in Liechtenstein. So you can get it anytime you want, but we take care of the safeguarding for free. We insure it and we keep it in Liechtenstein, and you get all the benefits of being the owner. So you can trade it, hold it, donate it to friends, and obviously have the benefits of blockchain combined with an investable grade diamond.
I was looking at the Polytrade breakdown of this today, collectibles, commodities. You look at wine and spirits, which is a large section. Also, I know a lot of wine collectors that are looking at this. We've talked to a couple of them over the years around tokenization of what that might look like. What is the expansion of what you guys are trying to do? Will this go beyond the scope of just gemstones?
Well, everything that can be tokenized will be tokenized. So we are looking at all different types of commodities, real world assets, and we are listening to our community on where the demand is going. We now started out with diamonds, and Tiamonds.com as a platform has become the largest marketplace for tokenized diamonds worldwide. There are now 14,000 diamonds on the platform. And with that, it is kind of the market leader in that niche. When we look at other assets to be tokenized, we will now start with gold, which is roughly $500 billion market per year. We're looking in platinum, silver, and in particularly in commodities which we can store in gold bars, and we would be tokenizing it one-on-one as well.
Okay.
Besides that, I think you're talking about wine, luxury goods, and everything like that. These are more complicated, and our community at the moment is really looking for investable grade, like investments they can hold and earn. And I mean, gold is just the next logical step for us.
So you mentioned physical validators. Explain what that is, and then what is the capacity of physical validators outside of Liechtenstein, where you guys are based?
Liechtenstein is unique in many ways. I would say, first of all, it has the heritage of being more than 300 years old. It has the principality, so there's still a prince who has a big influence in the culture, of course. But Liechtenstein is known to be a financial hub. It has the highest GDP in the world, and it's known to be a place for safeguarding your wealth. And that's kind of a key thing, which is part of Tiamonds project as well, because the safeguarding of the physical underlying assets is maintained in Liechtenstein. So it is here in a vault and like highest standard, where some other Picassos or gold or diamonds are also stored. And Liechtenstein also stands out because of this legal role as a physical validator. And this makes it very interesting for everybody globally, because it's the only country who already 2017 started out to work on what is now called the Blockchain Act, and a whole legal framework which is in place since January 2020. So now it's the 5th year where we are fully regulated and supervised under this Blockchain Act. And one role is this physical validator. In short, you can see it as a notary who is liable and responsible that the underlying asset, which is tokenized, will be also there. It's insured, and it's guaranteed that whenever you come with your ownership certificate, you will be able to enforce it at a court here in Liechtenstein. So even if you're from Dubai, if you're from US or any international country, if you get this ownership certificate, you will be able to enforce your right here locally, and you can be sure that you get the underlying asset. Example of diamonds, for example, if the diamond would not be there anymore, we would lose the license. You could sue us here in the court, and you can enforce your rights, get the money back and everything. So it is a very unique, legal, enforceable structure where Liechtenstein really stands out, enabling tokenization of real world assets.
Okay, so talk to me a little bit about LCX. Obviously, what we're seeing inside MiCA within the EU really starting to ramp up. A lot of things are happening around even stablecoins. If you look at what RLUSD is doing, and you see the fact that we've started to see Tether being delisted, how does this affect your business? Can you explain a little bit further?
Well, as you can see here on our website, it says crypto integrity. That's the core mission. We have started out at LCX in 2018, and we always wanted to bridge the traditional finance with the new innovative blockchain world, meaning that from day one, we had been asking the more nitty-gritty questions around KYC and onboarding was more complicated. So that's why we are now known to be a hidden champion, where we had been embracing the regulatory side right from start, and it had been probably also slowing us down at the beginning because users just avoided KYC. If you have the option to upload no passport or code, come to us, of course you probably chose the other platforms. But now it's becoming a huge advantage, and LCX stands out with the integrity at the core, with digital excellence, and with the unity with a very strong LCX community.
I'm looking at your market panel right now, and then if you look at the fact of yields, which most likely are going to be a big part of this, is it something that we could see in the future? I know with gold there is the capacity of earning yield. Would that be something that we could see if you paired that up with diamonds and say a stablecoin?
Absolutely. I think tokenization itself is unlocking a whole new opportunity. It's $1 trillion market opportunity where assets which had been not accessible to retail investors at all, or it's unlocking markets where the asset itself had not been globally tradable or intransparent. And their diamonds is a very good example for that, but also for gold. I mean, if you want to buy a gold bar, you have to physically pick it up somewhere, then you have to store it at your house, or you rent a space where you put it inside. It's complicated, very local, but the demand is massive. And we are solving this now basically by putting the gold bar in a vault over here, and you just get this ownership certificate. And LCX is basically at the center of this tokenization, where Tiamonds is just one client, our own project, but we are now talking to hundreds of other platforms who would like to leverage this role as a physical validator for their own projects. And obviously now with Mika coming, there's a whole category called the asset reference token, where it's even created a legal framework to create assets or tokens which are backed by real world assets.
Let me ask you this. When you look at investors globally, you're talking about high net worth individuals that are looking at investing in diamonds, gold, other eventual real world assets. Do they understand what's happening in the market right now around RWA?
I think they are slowly starting to understand, especially as we come out with these new innovative products. But what you can already see is that there is a high demand for it. If you look at family offices, high net worth or ultra high net worth individuals, these are already probably years ahead of the common investors. They'd like to store their assets not only on one continent, not only in the US, not only in Asia, but maybe also having assets in Switzerland and Liechtenstein as well. And opening an account at the Liechtenstein bank is a complicated process, which is probably limited to privileged rich people. And at LCX, everybody can open an account, and our users are proud to be having an account over here at the moment. And with holding assets, it's the same. I mean, it's one of the probably most safe jurisdictions with legal clarity and where you can enforce your rights. Stability of the country and everything to hold assets like that. Rich people or investors want to diversify their assets and keep them physically in different locations around the world. The second development is you probably heard about these free ports. It has been a development over the last decades where people are buying the Picasso at Sotheby's, but they actually never get it in their own house, but they store it in a free port where they don't have to pay any taxes. It's just stored. They maybe traveled there, visited once, and that's it. And these free ports had been kind of in a gray zone been exploding over the last decades. So there are plenty of storages where billions of dollars or assets being stored.
Okay.
The downside is that there's no transparency really of what's inside, who's the owner, and there's a lot of controversy around these free ports. But the demand is clear. So people want this. People want to diversify. They want to hold their assets without putting them in the living room. And that's where we come in. That's where tokenization really is unlocking this. And with the physical validator, we can ensure that the asset is actually there in this storage facility. It is safeguarded, it is insured, and you get the digital certificate 101. So if you're holding this Picasso with the digital certificate, you can be sure that it's also there. And then it enables global trade, instant settlement,
right?
So you can donate it or sell it to anybody globally.
Yeah, I think that's the big value that obviously real world asset tokenization brings to the market that people are starting to get a good understanding of. I was looking at your Twitter account. It says big reveal, TIA is now TOTO. So explain to me the transition over to the new token. And for many of our viewers and audience, you guys probably are looking at this from an investment standpoint. But explain to me what this means for TOTO, the token.
So Tiamonds started out with tokenization of diamonds. So we are doing this now since several years, becoming a clear leader in that niche of diamond tokenization. But we are not stopping there. And as explained, we are going into a new asset classes. Basically, we're talking about total tokenization. So we're going in gold, diamonds, gold, silver, platinum, maybe even real estate, or we did granite recently. So all different kind of new commodities. Everything that can be tokenized will be tokenized, and we're looking into that. And therefore, also the utility token is not matching anymore. Just focusing on diamonds is not enough. So that's why we are doing this rebranding to TOTO, standing for total tokenization. It is still the universal utility token. And we innovated with a model called own to earn. So for everybody who owns a tokenized asset will be granted rewards. So if you have diamond hands, if you're holding the asset, you will be rewarded for it. But you can see it as airline miles, more or less. So the more you hold, the longer you hold it, the more rewards you will be granted over time. And then you can use them again to buy additional assets or to use it on the platform to pay other fees. So there's this model had been super successful with TIA, but we're now taking it to a next level of TOTO. There's one more very important aspect. I think there's as TIA started out, there's also another competitor in the market with a similar name, and we wanted to avoid any confusion with the name. So we had been looking for a good solution, and it's now the perfect time to actually take that to the next level. TOTO stands for total tokenization and really embraces our vision as well at Tiamonds.
Well, it's good to hear that there's some potential yield within RWAs, which I think is going to be a unique factor, especially going forward when people realize how that works. I'm looking also over on your exchange with potential key exchange listings for TOTO the token, but also I want to ask about LCX in general. Will you will you have RLUSD coming on when we look at the Ripple stablecoin coming to market? It's starting to make its way into a lot of them.
Absolutely. LCX is a leading spot crypto exchange in Europe, and we have been specializing also in all different kind of stable coins. We just recently also had been listing Circle's Euro C token, and obviously we have to comply to the new MiCA rules in regards to stablecoins and asset reference tokens. But Liechtenstein had been always in history to be a market for international settlements. And that's where we also see LCX as a strong partner to have a fiat on and off ramp for stablecoins, eventually also for RLUSD, or for any other stablecoin. As we are in Europe, we have to comply with MiCA, which is currently clarity, but also uncertainty for a lot of international players, because not everybody is ready yet to be fully MiCA compliant.
Yeah, for sure. I want to talk about something that I think might lean in on this a little bit, Monty, and that is the idea of not only Web3, but we're already seeing a lot of AI integration. And within that, I've got a couple of clips I want to play for you. One is talking about Web3 jewelry, okay? And a utility functionality. And I think it might play in to this. So let me play this clip for you and get your opinion. Take a look.
ARC lets you link your physical designer jewelry to your digital persona. Each ARC jewelry piece contains an embedded wireless chip. Tap your jewelry to any smartphone to direct it to a website or experience of your choosing. NFTs, crypto, media, AR, and more is infused into the jewelry. ARC jewelry can also give access to additional utilities such as concerts and events, marriages and memories, VIP service, gaming rewards, and so much more. Then, if your assets appreciate, resell on ARC Exchange.
How would you see this playing out, and would it maybe align with some of the things that you guys are doing from a strategy standpoint?
So this vision of tokenization and enabling like a new layer to any physical product is nothing new. But now with the technology and blockchain, we can actually make it happen.
Yeah.
We have an advisor at LCX called Jimmy Wales. He is the founder of Wikipedia. And as you know, he's a longtime friend of mine personally. So I've been following along with my previous companies I've been starting in the Web2 field. And there he'd been talking about the freedom of knowledge and the internet of information. And now it feels like we're in the middle of the internet of value. And that's why LCX has established this mission to create freedom of wealth. So similar to Web 2.0, focusing on the internet of information with creating freedom of knowledge, we are now in internet of value where we enable the freedom of wealth.
AI is probably going to be a big part of this in the future. I want to play one more clip for you and get your opinion on this. This is more toward AI jewelry. Take a look.
But now we get to fully customize it. I'm going to choose gold. And from these elements, I went with croissant. We can choose a special word to describe our design. I just went with cute. AI will give us 4 different options of what this necklace can look like. These are the cutest little croissant necklaces I've ever seen. I'm going to choose this option, and then ARC Jewelry is going to make this custom design a reality.
Wait, these are actually so sick.
So here's what I added. Then I'm gonna name it and it's gonna generate 4 different rings to choose from. I chose this one. But for the other 2, I'm just gonna show the list of what I chose.
So you've got AI jewelry coming now into the market. So it looks like this space is heating up pretty quickly. When you look at that and you think about like you said, kind of the internet of value that's starting to come into blockchain, tokenized real world assets, whether we see all sorts of integration within the jewelry category, I think there's a lot of opportunity here for sure. Is there anything, when you look at your roadmap, that is aligning with that kind of technology that is starting to make its way into Web3? Anything that you guys are doing yet?
With these thousands of new tokens, how do you discover new tokens? That's something where we had been looking into these algorithms from Spotify and Amazon, but these are not enough to grasp these huge amount of parameters you need to look at when you do your own research on any crypto assets.
Sure.
So at LCX, we had been doing a lot of research on this AI discovery. How can we use artificial intelligence to guide our users to discover the next new asset class? And how can we create parameters to classify them? And I think that's where AI really can make a big difference for any investors. And if you look at crypto as a whole, there's this super cycle where we are in the middle, where there's hundreds and thousands of new assets coming in, and you need to filter and to diversify your portfolio, probably find the new crypto gem out of these vast wave of different token options. When we talk about tokenization of financial assets, we are talking about taking the crypto industry to 100x or even more. Everything, the whole like financial industry as we know it, will be running on crypto and blockchain technology, similar to HTTP had been revolutionizing knowledge and the internet of knowledge.
Yep.
We are now in the age of intelligence and age of the internet of value.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, Monty, it's been great having you on the show today. Thank you so much for us learning a little bit more about LCX and Tiamonds. So we'll definitely be watching your progress over this year, and we'll check back with you soon. Thanks for coming in.
Paul, thank you so much. Talk soon.
All right, so you guys are part of the, if you're not part of the Diamond Circle, we'll get in on that. It's our own private group that is very cool because you get additional content. We do webinars over there, additional coaching, all sorts of stuff that you guys can get into just by clicking the link and starting down below. And of course, if you're not following me out there on X, it's just @PaulBaron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.